Thomas Schnetzler, master chocolatier of Lindt, is here to show me one of his fantastic desserts. And today I thought I might just sit back and watch the master in action. Thomas, what kind of dessert are you making?
Oh, we are going to make a delicious hazelnut chocolate tart.
Chocolate and hazelnut is by far my favourite, so this is right up my alley.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So really simple. So we're just going to need a base for our little tart. So this is really, you can make a cheesecake base as well for this. So it's really up to you what you would like to do. But we're going to make it a little bit more chocolatey, of course. I'm going to melt a little bit of chocolate and then we're just going to put some cereal together. Just basically the chocolate sticks together. The cereal, put that on the base and off we go.
So in a bain-marie?
In a bain-marie, just barely simmering water, and then the chocolate goes in. Okay. So you said like hazelnut and chocolate is something that you love?
100%. It's my Achilles heel. I just love it that much. There's just something about it that's quite addictive.
It's just one of those classic combinations. And I guess, you know, a little secret, what we actually do, we roast all the nuts in-house, so we roast our own hazelnuts. And then once they're sort of freshly roasted, then we put it straight in the chocolate and the chocolate absorbs the actual sort of hazelnut flavour as well. So we very gently just melt this chocolate. Needs a bit of love and attention.
Exactly.
Okay, once that's all melted, just give it a last little stir, and then we're going to put in some hazelnut spreads. Now, you can actually also put in like almond butter or any sort of nut butter, but it just sort of makes it a little bit richer.
No, this is fantastic. I've got a few jars at home, actually.
Oh, good. So that goes in here, and then we're just going to use some bran flakes.
Okay.
But you can use corn flakes or whatever you like, really. And then we just coat all of these with the chocolate mixture. Yep. And then we're good to go.
And so do we need to now put this into the fridge and let it chill just like we would do a classic cheesecake?
Absolutely. It's easier for the mixture because it's almost like a hot custard that goes on top.
Right.
So it's a little bit easier when the base is sort of nice and set.
Yep. And I see you've put a bit of baking paper into a springform tin.
And just grease it as well because it just sort of helps the mixture come out.
Absolutely.
And then we just put this all in and just basically make a nice and even layer on the bottom before we pop it in the fridge. Push it down a little bit, but we don't have to be too precious. So make sure it's all the way to the edge, and that's a nice little base.
Great, I can put that in the fridge for you.
Perfect, thank you very much. Okay, with the base chilling in the fridge, it's time to go and get onto the custard.
Okay.
So straight in, cream. And
lots of cream.
Lots of cream and milk. It's like equal parts.
Okay.
And bring that to the boil. And in the meantime, we'll crack the eggs.
Okay.
And just give them a light little whisk.
Sure.
We don't need to like aerate it too much, but just break them up.
This is going to be so decadent. I can tell.
It's just like a really rich custard. And you can use that in individual moulds as well, so you don't have to use like a one big case. Whisk that together just to break it up.
I love it using the whole eggs as opposed to just using the egg yolks.
Yeah, that makes it almost like too rich, but it actually just sort of needs to help set. The chocolate helps setting it as well.
Nice.
We only put a little bit of the hot mixture in here first because we don't want to curdle the eggs.
No, we've already had our scrambled eggs for breakfast.
Not what we're after. So this is, we call this like tempering the eggs, so really just sort of stopping them from being shocked.
Yeah.
And then we actually add all of this back into it, and then it's almost like cooking out a custard.
Right.
So we need to stir this continuously until it sort of starts to thicken a little bit. Yeah. We just put a pinch of salt in here as well.
Oh, right.
Just sort of takes the edge off a little bit, and chocolate actually loves salt.
So, Thomas, what is the consistency that we're looking for with the custard?
Oh, we really sort of wanted to have it like a pouring cream, and essentially we really just want to cook the eggs out. So that's the main goal. So this is perfect like this. So we take that off and then we're ready for the chocolate.
Okay.
So we put all the chocolate pieces in, and the heat of our custard base would be more than enough to actually melt all of this.
And we've got 70% cocoa and also more hazelnut chocolate going in, yeah?
Absolutely. So this is a little bit of a mixture. So the 70% will bring that nice depth of deep sort of chocolate flavour.
Yes.
And the hazelnut just sort of has that rich nuttiness that we're sort of after in this tart. But essentially, you can make this custard with any of your favourite Lindt chocolate. So this would be nice with all chili chocolate or with mint or whatever you desire.
So does that need to cool down at all, or can go straight into the base?
No, all the chocolate will actually take a lot of that heat away. So if you like, if you want to grab that base for me, that'd be amazing. And then we can just put that straight on. Once all our chocolate is melted, so we just want to see that we don't have any kind of lumps in here. Now, because we use the hazelnut chocolate, there always will be some texture in that tart as well.
Yeah.
So don't worry about these. So these are just the delicious little hazelnut pieces in there. Okay, now all our chocolate is melted and it's ready to go into our tart base.
Okay.
So in it goes. And just gentle, we don't want any sort of air pockets. That's probably the main things to watch out for. But that really just sort of sets into a nice flat. Okay, just give it a bit of a wiggle so it's all nice and flat on top. And then let it cool down a little bit and then put it in the fridge. Probably about 4 hours until it's nice and set.
Nice.
Okay, tart is nicely set. Ring comes off. It's also good to just sort of run a bit of a warm tea towel or even a bit of blowtorch around.
Yep.
And then we can always sort of use a little palette knife to etch it out.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is where we wait with bated breath.
That's it. That side.
Wow, look at that. Looks
Smooth
very
it out.
impressive.
There we go.
It's actually quite an easy tart to make, really.
Absolutely. It's one of those good things to prepare. And always, like with chocolate, it actually tastes best at room temperature, so don't serve it straight out of the fridge.
Good tip, yep.
And then we're ready to decorate that and serve it up.
Now, I've noticed that you brought more chocolate.
A little bit, a little bit.
Raspberry and hazelnut, 70% cacao. I mean, does it get any better than that?
I'll start with a little bit of the hazelnut spread.
Yep.
And just going to do a couple of little circles over here, just
wow.
to sort of give it a bit of chocolatiness and hazelnuttiness. There we go. Thank you for that. So a little bit of extra chocolate, something a little bit of freshness as well,
Yeah.
a little bit of berries, so we can, and you can decorate this any way you like, really. But just a couple of little squares on the sort of one side, a couple of little hazelnuts.
I love this bit, just watching the master at work, just putting the whole thing, the little finer touches. I mean, it looked beautiful before you even started to decorate it with the raspberry and chocolate. And what's that chocolate that you've got there?
These ones are called thins, so it's a really, just really fine thin of chocolate.
Yep.
Really fine. As soon as you put it on your tongue, it starts to melt, so by all means.
Okay.
So there we go. And I think this is looking pretty good.
Wow. That's
Just
amazing.
like that. One little knot here, and there we go.
So good.
Nice and chocolatey. Okay, you ready for some?
Oh,
Let's
absolutely.
get you a nice slice. Now, the best way of cutting this is always with a really hot knife, because then it just actually melts, and you get a nice, clean, professional-looking cut.
And just make sure it's a big piece.
I don't do small portions. There
How
we go.
demanding. How demanding am I sitting over here?
So there we go.
I love that crunch. I can hear that bass.
All adds to it. So there we go.
Thank you so much, Thomas.
This should be chocolatey enough for you.
I love this so much. Look how silky that is. And that base. Oh, crunchy. Thomas, this is ridiculously good.
I'm glad you like it.
Hazelnut and chocolate, best mates. They're my best mates too. Can you be my best mate now?
Absolutely.
It's really good.